it is covered in vision as Rahmatan lil Alamin, or blessed for. In this regard, we hope that this conference will come a great contribution in theoretical as well as practical manners to our economic and social development in Indonesia in particular, and in ASEAN region in general, as invited by the topic of this conference. To all distinguished keynote speaker and speaker, guests and participants, I express my heartfully and deep gratitude. Thank you very much for you all for being here and enjoy this conference. Expecting the blessing of God and His mercy, let us open this conference officially by reciting Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we kindly invite Rector and all the distinguished guests to step closer to the projector screen. To Mr. Professor Dr. Haji Rosion Anwar MAG, Professor Dr. Haji Dudang Gojali MAG, Professor Dr. Iwan Setiawan MPD MASY, Associate Professor Muhammad Soleh Nurzaman PhD. As we will proceed with the symbolic inauguration. Now please take your hand on the screen together. We will count together in 3, 2, 1. International Conference 2025 is officially opened. Please give your round of applause. Please, you may now return to your seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue. It is a great honor to have our keynote speaker with us here today. The Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause and welcome the Honorable Associate Professor Muhammad Soleh Nurzaman, PhD.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon to all distinguished participants. My peace and blessings be upon all of us. It is a profound privilege to address this esteemed gathering at the second annual International Conference on Islamic Economics, Management, Business, Accounting, and Halal Industry 2025. I extend my deepest appreciation to UIN Sunan Gunung Jati Bandung, particularly the Rector, Professor Rosion Anwar, and the Dean of FEBI, Prof. Dudang Gozali, for hosting this important event and for their continued commitment for advancing the field of Islamic economics and the halal industry. My warmest regards also to all distinguished speakers from across ASEAN, particularly from Indonesian universities, respected scholars, policymakers, industry leaders, and other honored guests. Your presence reflects our shared dedication to strengthening collaboration and building a resilient, inclusive ASEAN economy. This year's theme, Rising Together in Uncertain Times, Agile Strategies for an Inclusive and Resilient ASEAN Economy, is both timely and deeply aligned with the direction of the global halal economy. Therefore, today, allow me to present 4 key reflections on examining the current condition and future direction of ASEAN's halal economy, namely, first, the rapid expansion of the global halal economy. Second, to see the ASEAN's current position. The third, to see the Indonesia's halal vision and what's the implication to the ASEAN economy. And the last one, what's the strategic ways forward for the ASEAN. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin by acknowledging the fundamental reality. The first slide showing the global halal economy that is expanding at a very tremendous pace. Data from SGIE report to 2024-2025 clearly demonstrates this momentum. As you can see from the slides, the size of the global halal economy continues to rise across multiple sectors, not only food, but also touch pharmacy, cosmetic, fashion, even the media and recreation, and of course the classical sectors, that is Islamic finance. The Muslim population, representing 25% of the world's population in this year, is projected to grow to about 30% or about 2.7 billion people by 2045. This demographic shift alone is a major driver of halal demand globally. Interestingly, as we can see, the top 10 global halal exports are dominated by non-Muslim majority countries. Countries such as China, Brazil, India, Russia, Turkey, and United States are among the top of the list that is exporting halal products that estimated between USD 12 billion US dollar to over 32 billion US dollar every year. This reality reminds us of the two things. First, halal has evolved from only a religious obligation into a global standard certification, including about quality, safety, and trust, attracting participation from both Muslim and non-Muslim countries. The second thing is about global competition is intensifying. Some of the largest halal exporters are not Muslim majority nations, proving that competitiveness, that is including the product quality, scale, logistic, and branding, is the most important factors determines leadership in the halal economy. As a result, all ASEAN countries must enhance its competitiveness and supply chain integration to seize emerging opportunities. Let's move to the second slide. We look at where ASEAN stands today. We can see that ASEAN countries show solid but uneven performance. Several ASEAN economies indeed appear in the top tiers of the SGIE rankings, but the region collectively still trails behind global leaders in terms of export volume. When we look at ASEAN's current position in the global halal economy, the data shows a clear but mixed performance across two indicators, that is SGIA rankings and halal export levels. First, in the SGIA rankings, that is collected from 2015 to 2022 data sets, we can see that several ASEAN countries consistently appear among the global leaders, that is Malaysia and our country, Indonesia, often rank in the top tiers across halal food, modest fashion, Muslim-friendly tourism, and Islamic finance. Meanwhile, the other ASEAN countries, that is Brunei, Singapore, and Thailand, show strong performance in niche categories such as halal pharmacy, logistics, and tourism. This situation demonstrates that ASEAN possesses strategic strength, but these strengths are distributed unevenly across member states. The second fact is about the data that show ASEAN's latest halal export data that give us a situation that showed a combined export value that is estimated between US dollar 48 billion in last year. It is about representing 51% of total global halal export. Indonesia remains the regions that contribute as the largest exporters within the region with USD 49.3 billion, followed by Vietnam and other countries such as Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. However, growth between 2023 and 2024 was relatively modest at 0.55%, highlighting that while ASEAN countries show individual strength, regional performance remain uneven and fragmented. The challenge ahead is to transform ASEAN diverse national capabilities into more integrated and competitive halal export bloc capable of matching global leaders. In short, we can see that ASEAN has strong individual performance, but not yet a unified competitive bloc. The region's next challenge is to convert its diverse national strength into a consolidated ASEAN halal supply chain that can compete at the global level. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia's halal ecosystem development that is rooted in its national strategies and the work of National Committee of Islamic Economic and Finance, or KNIKS, offers a model with strong implication for ASEAN. As we can see in the next slide, Indonesia's approach is built on three major components as shown in the slide. First, strengthening core halal sectors. This covers halal food, Muslim-friendly tourism, textile, pharmaceuticals, health facilities, renewable energy, financial services, and other halal sectors. Strengthening these sectors support Indonesia's economic transformation goals. The second core is how to align with the National Development Plan. Indonesia integrates the halal strategies or the master plan of economy and Islamic finance into some major policy framework. The first is National Long-Term Development Plan, or RPJPN 2025-2045. The second framework is to benchmark the National Medium-Term Development Plan, or RPJMN 2025-2029. The third framework is Astacita, that is 8 strategic missions that serve as guidelines for the government to achieve the national mission and vision. And the other policy frameworks, from them the Indonesia can develop the halal strategies to become reachable. The third core is how to pursue global competitiveness. Indonesia is targeting and maintaining strong position in global halal sector by seeing the SGIE rankings and building inclusive industrial growth. The broader implication for ASEAN is clear. When one ASEAN member strengthens its halal ecosystem, it can lift the regional halal value chain. Indonesia's policies demonstrate how halal can be incorporated into national planning, something other ASEAN countries can also emulate to accelerate the regional competitiveness. Finally, the fourth slide lays out 6 strategic paths for the futures of ASEAN halal economy. These are the key directions ASEAN must pursue collectively to elevate its global standing. The first is harmonizing halal standard across ASEAN. This can be achieved by reducing tariff barriers for international trade, promote mutual recognition agreements, and develop an ASEAN halal reference standard. The second key is to develop ASEAN halal value chain. This can be achieved by building interconnected, specialized halal cluster across many sectors, including food, pharmacy, cosmetic, logistics, and other halal sectors. The third one is advancing digital halal ecosystem by leveraging digital certification, blockchain traceability, AI-based auditing, and big data export analytics. The fourth factor is strengthening halal exports and global branding through an ASEAN halal export roadmap and unified regional halal brand that has been built by Indonesia case. The fourth factor is upscaling human capital. We know that this is very important, so by establishing an ASEAN Halal Institute, for example, and intensifying university-based that's collaborated with industry and government, it can be become a strong factors. And the last factor is integrating halal strategy into national planning as demonstrated by Indonesia's alignment with long-term, medium-term, and other national program. So hopefully the ASEAN countries can incorporate halal economy into the long-term strategic in this region. Distinguished guests, to conclude, the halal economy is clearly one of the most promising pathway for ASEAN's inclusive and resilient growth. But its success requires unity, strategic coordination, and shared vision. Therefore, by strengthening standard, deepening value chain, embracing digital transformation, enhancing export, investing in human capital, and lastly, integrating halal into national development plans, hopefully ASEAN can rise together and claim its place as a global halal powerhouse. Thank you for very much, and hopefully this event can give many insight and policy direction for all sectors, that all stakeholders to develop halal economy that can contribute to the national economy and ASEAN's economy as a whole. Again, I said thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for enlightening our minds with your in-depth perspective and also national insight.
Now we will continue with awarding our keynote speaker and also our moderator. Yes, sir. We are still waiting for our dean. Ladies and gentlemen, please be patient. We are still waiting for our dean. We will awarding for the keynote speaker and also our offline speaker. I will announce the name and also our moderator. Our keynote speaker is Mr. Associate Professor Muhammad Saleh Nurzaman, PhD. Our moderator, Dr. Haji Munir, MA, from UIN Sunan Gunung Jati, Bandung. And our second moderator, Nabila Rizki Alifa, SKPM MM, from UIN Sunan Gunung Jati, Bandung. And our offline speaker, so we will continue with awarding. First, our keynote speaker, Mr. Associate Professor Muhammad Saleh Nurzaman, PhD. Please take in the front, sir. And our moderator, Dr. Haji Munir, MA. And our second moderator, Mrs. Nabila Rizki Alifa, SKPM MM. And also, we would like to invite our offline speaker. We have also here as our speaker, offline speaker, Associate Professor Muhammad Saleh Nurzaman, PhD, as Deputy Director, Human Development, KNEKS. And also, we would like to invite Miss Nguyen Thi Man Thu, MSc, from University of Economics and Business, Vietnam National University. And also, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Hajah Lili Sulastri MM, CPHRM from UIN Sunan Gunung Jati, Bandung. Actually, we have one more offline speaker. I will announce the name. It's Dr. Andes Haji Cucu Sutara MM as President of IKA UIN Sunan Gunung Jati, Bandung. Please, okay. Will be presented by our Vice Dean, Professor Dr. Haji Iwan Setiawan. We are invited our Rector of UIN Sunan Gunung Jati, Bandung to give the award to our moderator and keynote speaker, also speakers. Also accompany with our Dean of FEBI to accompany our Rector, Professor Dr. Haji Dudang Gojali. Once again, please give a big applause for our Rector and also keynote speaker. Now we are going to have photo session. Okay, on my mark, ready? 1, 2, 3. So we would like to ask everyone in the front have a big smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to have awarding to our co-host, and all the delegates from country that joining this event. Please come forward. Please come forward. Dio Adriansyah from Indonesia. Please come forward. Nur Fatihah binti Zambia from Malaysia. Next, please come forward. Delegates from Philippines, Muhammad Arif Usman. Next, we have delegates from Thailand. Please come forward, Mr. Tamisi Karo. Next, we have delegates from Vietnam. Please come forward, Miss or Mr. Lee Duc Trang. Please come forward from Vietnam. Last but not least, we have from Somalia, Mr. Omar Hassan Noor.
Okay, for delegates whose names are called, we kindly invite you to come forward.
Okay, we still have awarding for co-hosts. Please come forward. Representation of Lagood Management. Please come forward, Professor Lilis, as co-host from Lagood Management. Please come forward. As co-host, please come forward, representation from STIBS Al-Amin. Is there any representative? STIBS Al-Amin. Okay. Next, our last co-host. Please come forward, representing from University of Economic and Business Vietnam National University. Okay, so we would like to ask our Dean of FEBI UIN Sunan Gunung Jati Bandung to give the award to our delegates and our co-host. Miss Tu, will you as presenting from University of Economic and Business Vietnam National University.
Ini nanti